Leicester City's to lose at the top of the table over in the Championship as we enter the penultimate game of the season. Who's going to take full advantage this week to close in on the playoffs and avoid the drop? Who's in charge? We're going to get into it next. So back once again with another prediction video. Today we take a look at match number 45. That's right, over in the Championship. And we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and your one-stop shop for the Championship is right here under one rooski with the likes of Leicester still reigning supreme at the top of the table at the moment. 4 points clear of the likes of Leeds and, of course, a massive 5 points clear of the likes of Ipswich, who do have a game in hand to close in on it. But, of course, the likes of Southampton now look destined to battle for a playoff spot. But, of course, who will avoid the drop? That's the biggest race of the season at the moment, and we'll get into all of that in just a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, you know who you are. But anyway, let's get cracking and have a look at what we're talking about. We're talking about this, guys. It is the Championship, and of course, we're building up to a recap of the previous results. Now, when I talk about previous results, I mean the games that were last weekend. Of course, there was some games midweek, and we'll talk about those briefly in a second. But let's bring you bang up to date with the weekend's results, which were pretty shitty if you were Blackburn Rovers fans. So anyway, let's kick it all off with, of course, the top of the shop here with Leicester City. Okay, we're going to do it like this, it looks like. These were my picks, as you can see it. Then, of course, Leicester City picked up a 2-1 win over West Brom. I went with the 2-2 draw myself. Watford and Hull City 0-0 draw. Of course, I went with the Watford win, who have confirmed cleverly as their new manager for a permanent basis. Meanwhile, Sunderland did lose to Millwall. They are absolute dog shit right now. I don't know what's gone wrong with Sunderland, and they need to get a new manager in and fast. Rotherham and Birmingham 0-0 draw under the Steve Evans debut at the helm. Give us a big boost. Meanwhile, Huddersfield did get spanked by Swansea 4-0. Of course, I went with a 1-0 win for Huddersfield. Norwich and Bristol City with a 1-1 draw there. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Stoke with a big 3-0 win over Plymouth to put them in a bit of trouble as well. 2-1 winners in my eyes. Cardiff 2-1 winners over Southampton. Again, denting Southampton's hopes, but they, of course, further dented their own hopes this past midweek. Of course, QPR with a big win over Preston. Of course, they did. And, of course, Rovers did shit the bed against Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, they did. And then, of course, Thriller at the Riverside, 4-3 winners for Leeds, of course. And the situation, let's bring you back to with the games in midweek. Leicester City put 5 past Southampton to close in on promotion, and Coventry and Hull duked out to a 5-goal thriller in their match, going in favour of Hull. As you can see it, of course, over there. If I can get over there, of course, I'm going to make this a little bit cleaner. There you go. Leicester City currently top the charts, 94 points right now. Leeds are in second with 94. Ipswich do have a game in hand to, of course, get that second spot back and put them in the driving seat. But Norwich, West Brom, Southampton and Ipswich currently occupy the playoffs, with Hull realistically the only team that could challenge those top two there. Coventry mathematically can still do that. And I think perhaps middle, no, can they? No, just Coventry. Just Coventry could mathematically, snookers required for them to get into the playoffs. Meanwhile, going down, Rotherham are done. Huddersfield are in the shit zone right now. Birmingham also in the drop zone, but those two will meet, and we're going to talk about that shortly. Wednesday, Adelaide right now, Plymouth, and then Rovers, which is not good for me, that's right. But of course, that's the situation we have ourselves. What about the situation, of course, in the Super Brewski? Well, let's have a look at it then, shall we? Of course, I'm rolling over to the Super Brewski right about now. We're going to show you what the situation is currently right there. As you can see it, it's Farker Life, top of the charts there with 13 points this past week. W&G Fan up there with 11.5. Then, of course, the Chasing Pack, James Peterson, Forgetful Fox, Xandus, Mo, and the rest of the pack there. Make sure you smash the old like if you see a name in there. Smash your subscribe if you can. Do me a favour. And also, the current leaderboard, see Stevel tops the charts there, 457.5. James Peterson is on his tail, though, 454.5. And then Summer 2018 is in bronze right now. That's the situation we find ourselves in, but it could all change with, of course, 2 more full factionists to go, and then, of course, a few games left over in the playoffs. But these are the games we're going to talk about right here, right now, and we're going to jump right in the deep end with, of course, a Friday's game, which, of course, sees implications at the top and the bottom. Is QPR up against Leeds United. Must-win game for Leeds right now. Of course, they cannot afford any slip-ups. 28 times they have played each other since 1993. 8 wins for QPR, 13 wins for Leeds, 7 draws, of course. Another big win for QPR was a 3-0 win, scoring 26 goals in those 28 games, 0.93 goals a game. Leeds, though, 6-1 win the biggest, scoring 43 goals in 28 matches, 1.54 goals a game as well. 50% form for Leeds right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. They are second with 90 points for the campaign. Up against the QPR side, 58% form for them right now, just 1 win in 4. They are 18th with 50 points for the season as well. Last time around, over at Loftus Road, it was a 1-0 win for QPR back in January 2020. The reverse fixture at Ellen Road was a 1-0 win for Leeds back in October. The odds for this one, though, QPR 90-4 for the victory, 2-1 on is your Leeds, 15-4, of course, is the draw here. Going to go with a win for Leeds, more hope than anything else in my eyes. Meanwhile, we hop over to Norwich as they take on Swansea. Must win again for them to keep them in the mixer for the playoffs. Played each other 19 times in 2008. We've got 9 wins to Norwich, 8 wins to Swansea, 2 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Norwich was a 4-1 win, scoring 27 goals in 19 matches, 1.42 goals a game. Swansea, 3-0 win their biggest, scoring 29 goals in 19 matches, 1.53 goals a game on average. Swansea, 3 wins on the bounce for them right now, 58% form for them. They are 14th for the table, 56 points for the season. Against the Norwich side, 67% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 6th with 72 points for the season as well. Last time around, over at Carrow Road, it was a 3-0 win for Swansea, goodness gracious me, who also picked up a 2-1 win in the reverse fixture at Wales back in October. The odds for this one, though, 6-4 on is your Norwich, 3-1 is the draw, 4-1, of course, is your away win. We're going to go with a Norwich victory again, 2-0 win to take it to the house. Meanwhile, we go to Bristol City, of course, against Rotherham, pretty much a dead rubber this game, of course. Rotherham relegated, Bristol City pretty much on the beach already. Now, these two sides have played each other 17 times since 2005. 7 wins for Bristol City, 6 wins for Rotherham, 4 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Bristol City, 3-1 win, scored 22 goals in 17 matches, 1.29 goals a game on average. Rotherham, though, 3-0 win the biggest, scoring 23 goals in those 17 games, 1.35 goals a game as well. Rotherham, of course, 25% form for them right now, just 1 win in the last 6. They are 24th, 24 points for the campaign against the Bristol City side, who are 12th, 59 points for the season, unbeaten in the last 6 games, however, just 1 win in the last 4 games. Last time around, though, over at Bristol City, it was a 2-1 win for the hosts back in April 2023. The reverse fixture at Rotherham was a 2-1 win for Bristol City back in October. Of course, the hosts are unbeaten against Rotherham over the last 3 occasions. I pick up 3 wins on the bounce, of course. The odds for this one, though, Bristol City 11-4 on for the victory, 15-4. The draw, 70-2 is, of course, your away win here. We're going to go with a 2-0 win once again. Bristol City with the points, Rotherham taking nothing out of this one. Meanwhile, Millwall up against Plymouth Argyle. Millwall are pretty much safe as houses. In fact, they are safe as houses. Played each other 8 times, these two sides. 2004, 5 wins for Millwall, nothing for Plymouth. 3 draws, of course. The biggest win for the host, the Lions there. 3-0 win for them. 15 goals scored in those 8 games, 1.88 goals a game on average. Plymouth yet to get a win. 6 goals scored, though, in those 8 games. 0.75 goals a game on average. Plymouth, though, just 1 defeat in the last 4 for them. 20 for the table, 48 points for the campaign. Millwall, though, 3 wins on the bounce. 58% form for them at the moment. 16 for the table, 53 points for the season as well. Last time around, these two sides did play each other in the league at the Den. It was a 1-1 draw back in April 2006. The reverse fixture, of course, at Plymouth. 2-0 win it was for Millwall, who are, of course, unbeaten against Plymouth, losing 4 on the trot. The odds for this one, 11-10 is your Millwall, 13-5 is your Plymouth, 12-5 is the draw here. I'm going to go with the Millwall victory. I'm going to go with the 1-0 win, points in the bag, and away they go. Cardiff against Middlesbrough, also dead rubber, of course. These two sides unfortunately missing out, despite reasonably good form heading into this one. 24 times they have played each other since 2008. We've got 11 wins apiece and 2 draws, of course. Cardiff, 3-1 win their biggest, scoring 25 goals in 24 matches, 1.04 goals a game. Borough, though, 3-0 win the biggest, scoring 29 goals in 24 matches, 1.21 goals a game as well. 58% form for Middlesbrough right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 9th, 63 points for the season against the Cardiff side. 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3 over the last 6. They are 11th with 62 points for the season. Of course, Cardiff picking up a 3-1 loss last time around at Wales back in February 2023. Middlesbrough picking up a win also in the reverse fixture. 2-0 win it was back in the Riverside in October. The odds for this one, though, we're looking at, what are we looking at? We're looking at Cardiff, 5-2 for the victory, 13-5 is the draw, 21-20 is, of course, your Middlesbrough here. I'm going to go with a home win, 2-1 win for Cardiff, point to the bag, and away they go. Meanwhile, we got Sheffield Wednesday against West Brom coming at you at Hillsborough. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday on an uptick, a bit of form right now against a West Brom side down in their luck right now, and of course, could be staring at a drop in the relegations. Playoff situations. Anyway, of course, they have played each other 15 times since the year 2003. Wins for Wednesday, 7 wins for West Brom, 5 draws, of course. Now the biggest win for Sheffield Wednesday, 3-1 wins, scoring 14 goals in those 15 games, 0.93 goals a game. West Brom, 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 22 goals in 15 matches, 1.47 goals a game as well. West Brom, 42% form for them right now, just 1 win in the last 6. Pretty shit form right now for Carlos Cobahan's side. 5th in the table, 72 points for the season against the Sheffield Wednesday side. 58% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They're 21st, 47 points for the season, and they are on the fucking up. Meanwhile, last time around, they're over at Hillsborough. It was a 3-0 win for West Brom, who are unbeaten against the Sheffield Wednesday over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws to boot. The odds for this one, we got Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 for the victory, 29-20 is your West Brom, and 23-10 is the draw. Now, I've got to go with my head on this one. If I was a gambling man, I'd be going Sheffield Wednesday on this one, which I think I have. I've gone Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 win, which of course will do them a world of good heading into the final game of the season. And of course, next up we have my boys against Coventry City. Goodness gracious me, it is over at Ewood Park. Must-win game, you would imagine. That's the only way to guarantee survival. Anyway, 23 times they have played each other since 1993. We've got 6 wins for Rovers, 8 wins for Coventry, 9 draws, of course. Now, Rovers 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 35 goals in those 23 games, 1.52 goals a game. Coventry 5-0 win, their biggest, scoring 31 goals in those 23 matches, 1.35 goals a game heading into this one. Coventry, though, bad bit of form right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 17% form for them right now. They are 8th, 63 points for the season against the Rovers side, 42% form for them right now, 2 wins the last 6. They are 19th, 49 points for the season, of course, as well. Last time around, over at Ewood Park, it was a 1-1 draw, of course, back in April 2023. The reverse fixture at the Rico was a 1-0 win for Coventry, who are unbeaten against Rovers over the last 6. However, at Ewood Park, Rovers, I'm looking at it, unbeaten against Coventry over the last 4 occasions. But we've not won any of them. They've all been draws. Let's look at the odds here. 30-10 is your Blackburn. Of course, 2-1 is your Coventry. 5-2 is the draw here. I'm going with a draw here, a point, and I'm hoping that's going to be enough for us to stick around at the end of the campaign. And then the big one at the foot of the table is Huddersfield. It's Birmingham, of course, coming over at the John Smith Kirklees McAlpine Stadium. Is Huddersfield against Birmingham. Played 34 times since 1995. 10 wins for Huddersfield, 12 wins for Birmingham, 12 draws, of course. Now the biggest win for Huddersfield, 3-0 win, scoring 40 goals in those 34 games, 1.18 goals a game. Birmingham 4-1 win, the biggest, scoring 38 goals in 34 matches, 1.12 goals a game as well. 42% form for Birmingham right now, just 1 win in the last 4. They are 22nd in the table, 46 points for the campaign against the Huddersfield Town side. 33% form for them right now, just 1 win in the last 6. 23rd, 44 points for the campaign. Last time around at Huddersfield, it was a 2-1 win for Huddersfield back in February 2023. The reverse fixture, a 4-1 win for Birmingham back at St Andrews back in October. The odds for this one, Huddersfield are 5-4 for the victory. 11-5 is, of course, your Birmingham. 12-5 is, of course, the draw. It could go either way, this one. That's what the bookies are saying. I'm going to give it to a 1-0 Huddersfield victory. More hope than anything else. And, of course, that will be a big boost for the Tykes. Is that what their nickname? The Terriers, sorry. Heading into the final game of the season. Watford against Sunderland, of course, dead rubber affair. Coming out at Vicarage Road, of course, Tom Cleverley, now your manager, up against Sunderland, who still had Mike Dodds as their interim manager. Played each other 22 times since 1993. Got 5 wins for Watford, 9 for Sunderland, 8 draws, of course. The biggest win for Watford, 3-1 win, scoring 27 goals in 22 matches, 1.23 goals a game on average. Sunderland, though, 4-1 win, the biggest, scoring 37 goals in 22 matches, 1.68 goals a game heading into this one. Sunderland, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. They are 13th, 56 points for the season against the Watford side, who haven't won in the last 6 games. However, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are the Draw Kings, picking up 5 draws at the last 6. Last time around at Vicarage Road was a 2-2 draw back in September 2022. The reverse fixture, though, at the Stadium of Light was a 2-0 win for Sunderland back in October. The odds for this one, though, Sunderland are 11-5 for the victory. Watford are 11-8, 11-5. Also, the draw here, it could go either way, but I'm going to go with another 0-0 draw for the Draw Kings, and that's Watford, and that's them taking home another point in the bag. Meanwhile, we go to Southampton against Stoke. Of course, Southampton pretty much done and dusted in regards to automatics. I think they can mathematically still get in the runners-up spot, but we'll see about that. Anyway, of course, up against Stoke, played each other 21 times. This is 2005. 8 wins for Southampton, 7 wins for Stoke, 6 draws, of course. Now Southampton, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 29 goals in 21 matches, 1.38 goals a game. Stoke, 2-1 win, their biggest, scoring 27 goals in 21 matches, 1.29 goals a game heading into this one. 58% form are Stoke right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Pretty good form when you look at it. 17th for the table, 50 points for the campaign against a Southampton side. Back-to-back defeats. Of course, the bubble has burst. That might be bad as well for their playoff encounter. 58% form for them right now. They're 4th, 84 points for the season as well. Last time around, Over at St Mary's, it was a 0-0 draw back in March 2018. That was in the Premier League. The reverse fixture at the Bet365 was the one win for Southampton back in October. The odds for this one, we are looking at Southampton coming at you 4-3 on for the victory. 10-3 is the draw. 3-1 is your long shots. That's a Stoke. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Southampton to keep the heat on at the top of the table. And then into the final couple here, we have Hull against Ipswich, of course, at the MKM Stadium. Of course, played each other 22 times since 2005. Got 13 wins for Hull, 14 wins for Ipswich, 5 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Hull was a 3-0 win, scoring 36 goals in 22 matches, 1.64 goals a game. Ipswich, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 20 goals in 22 matches, 0.91 goals a game heading into this one. Ipswich, 67% form for them right now without a win in the last 3. They are third in the table with 89 points for the season, up against the Hull side, 67% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 5. Of course, 7th for the table, 69 points for the season as well. Last time around, over at the MKM Stadium, it was a 1-0 win for Ipswich back in February 2021. The reverse fixture, a 3-0 win for Ipswich back in October, who've won back-to-back against Hull, back-to-back clean sheets as well. The odds, 21-10 is your Hull, 23-20 is your Ipswich, 11-4 is the draw here. I'm going to go with a draw here, I think, but it could easily be a Hull victory because of the form at the moment. And then wrap it up. It's Preston, it's Leicester for the title, you would imagine, on Monday night. Played each other 19 times since 2002. Got 7 wins for Preston, 6 wins for Leicester. We got 6 draws, of course, the biggest win for Preston. 2-0 wins, scoring 20 goals in those 19 games, 1.05 goals a game on average. Leicester, 3-0 win, their biggest, scoring 20 goals in those 19 games, 1.05 goals a game on average as well. 4 wins of the last 6 for Leicester, 67% form for them right now. They're top, 94 points for the season against the Preston side, 25% form for them right now. Just 1 win in the last 6. They're 10th, 63 points for the season as well. Last time around, though, over at, where are we looking at? Leicester, at Deepdale, it was a 1-1 draw back in January 2011. The reverse fixture at the King Power was a 3-0 win for Leicester back in October. The odds, 90-4 is your Preston, 2-1 on is your Leicester, 7-2, of course, is the draw here. We're going to go with a victory for Leicester, and of course to crown their return to the Premier League in my eyes. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like as we enter the back end of the season here. The final game, of course, Leicester up there with 97 points, 7 points clear over Ipswich, who do have a game in hand, but realistically cannot be caught. Meanwhile, Leeds, mathematically just about there. Leeds, tell a lie, Ipswich will probably go down to the last game of the season. Of course, they have a midweek game against Coventry, which, of course, will decide that. Southampton and Norwich, and then West Brom, the likes of Hull, still could squeeze into those playoff spots, depending on what goes on with West Brom. Down the foot, of course, we've got Rotherham, Birmingham, and Huddersfield, and then Rovers were just about there, I think, if the results go like this. But anyway, that's, of course, just my take on it. Be sure to give me some love and subscribe, like, of course, in the older descriptions and all that kind of business, all that kind of jazz. I'll see you soon for the next one, whenever that is. But until then, we are just about done.